Welcome to the Stressed Knits podcast. I think this is episode 55, and I am Stacy, also known as Stressed Knits on Ravelry, and Stacy also on Instagram. I've recorded the intro a few times because I forgot some stuff. Esther's been crazy. I'm losing my mind. It's fine. So today is November 2nd, 2017. It's November. It's the Christmas season, and a lot of you are like, it's not even Thanksgiving. It's Christmas to me. I have been a complete Grinch Scrooge for the past 2 years, and I'm not excited about Christmas at all for literally no reason. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. And usually I'm like a Christmas elf, so I'm finally in that mindset already. Doug and I are putting up the Christmas tree. It'll be right here in like a few days this weekend. So that's crazy. For those of you who enjoy Halloween, I hope you had a wonderful Halloween. Doug and I went to a Milk Carton Kids concert. Great band. Highly recommend for fall and winter playlists. My top recommendations would be No Hammer to Hold, Michigan, and Snake Eyes. I think those are my top 3 Milk Carton Kids songs. They're so good. Yeah, so we did that with my sister Alyssa and her husband Carlos, which is really fun. We don't get to hang out with them too often. They live kind of far away. Not really, like 40 minutes, half an hour. It's not that far, but it's not convenient. So, yeah, we usually don't. I'm going to throw toys at her this entire time. Esther. There you go. She really likes cords, so she's just going to eat a bunch of cords. And it's really stressful to not have her on my lap, but she's not in a very cuddly mood yet. So if this will go up, I don't know. It is about 10 o'clock in the morning. I have my iced coffee, but because it is no longer pumpkin spice season in my eyes, I did something that I haven't done in about a year. More than a year. I didn't do it last year. I got caramel brulee, my iced coffee. I got 2 pumps of caramel brulee. It's weird, but I like it. I don't know. I used to do this all the time in college. This was my thing. What do you have? Just making sure she's playing with something she should be. She's good. She's behind the couch. Yeah, so highly recommend if you like weird things. I think I'm gonna change it to chestnut praline. Just because I think it goes better with coffee. But I'm really digging this. It's making me feel very wintry. It's been sprinkling snow on and off in Michigan, which is, if you're new to the podcast, welcome. Thank you so much. And if you are returning, hi! You guys already probably know this, but winter is my favorite time of year. The winter solstice specifically is my favorite day of the year, so we're creeping up to that in about a month and a half. It's really crappy outside, which is why the lighting is also really crappy, but it should be okay enough. It's not going to be good for a while. It's just Michigan in November and December is a little gross. So, at least November is gross. December's beautiful. But I was commuting to work, and I was just driving, minding my own business, and all of a sudden I see some white stuff falling from the sky, and I was like, what? And then I just started bawling my eyes out immediately because I was so excited. So if you're ever wondering, when it snows, am I happy? I'm the happiest person in the world. Why would you wonder that? I don't know, I'm losing my mind. Anyway, so I'm really excited. Yeah. Also, I am hosting a giveaway. I'm hosting 2 giveaways. I'll announce one. One is already ongoing, so let's talk about that first. So I hit 50 episodes, and it's a really big deal. Like, I never thought this was going to turn into anything. I didn't think it was going to turn into friendships. I didn't think this was going to turn into something I look forward to doing every week or almost every week. I never thought this would bring me so much happiness. So I think 50 episodes is a really big deal. Because I've almost been podcasting for 2 years. It'll be 2 years in January. So I am just blown away by all of you and your kindness and your support and your love. So I just wanted to give back a little bit, and I'm hosting a giveaway. It's a pretty big giveaway, and it is going to include a progress keeper, like one of my favorite progress keepers, a skein of my hand-dyed yarn, which is Stress Knits yarn in the colorway of your choosing on the favorite sock base, and then one of my favorite project bags, which I did not bring because I'm not working on the project that is in there. It is the Bento bag by Fringe Supply Company. It's the perfect sock sack hat, like one skein small projects. It's perfect. Squishes down your purse really well. I really, really love him. So I'm gonna get one for you guys. I'm gonna get it in like a really neutral colorway, so whoever wins it will hopefully like it. So yeah, that is my Thank You for 50 giveaway. It is being held in my Ravelry group. You have to be a member of the group to win. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I've seen some like the stars that say people are guests in the group. You have to be a member of the group. If I pull in somebody's a guest in the group, I'm just gonna pull somebody else. Just because this is for people who watch regularly and are active. Well, they don't have to be like super active in the community, but just like, you know, participate in this community by at least subscribing or being a part of the Ravelry group. So there is that. So I'm gonna close that in about 2 weeks. I just want to give everybody a chance to like hear about it and see it, and yeah. Also, I'm waiting on a paycheck. Okay, personal note. It's been this like super awkward limbo time where it's like I got paid for training and then I didn't have a client because they were trying to find like where my availability worked with certain clients, making sure like it would all work out and making sure I was in like this radius of these people's houses. So it took about 3 weeks to find where I was gonna belong, and I started before Rhinebeck, so I started like the 17th of October, and I haven't gotten paid since like September 20th. It's November, so it's been like this really awkward limbo time of not having a paycheck, and all of my Etsy stuff, which is usually like my fun money or like my savings money, has gone straight to bills. So thank you if you supported Stress Knits, because you're literally allowing me to pay bills. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so I think my first paycheck is this Friday, so tomorrow. It's just been really awkward. It's been awful. Yeah, so there's that. So I'm just waiting for that to come in so I can order stuff for the giveaway. So what else was I gonna say? Oh, and then my wonderful, beautiful friend Kristen, who is incredibly talented. She is Vine Yarns on everywhere. You know her as Vine Yarngasm Podcast. She is like, everybody knows who Kristen is, right? Okay, so she earlier this, like a few months ago, she did the Oracle shawl, and is the giant pie shawl that everybody's been knitting. But a bunch of people requested a half pie version or a crescent version, and I'm so excited because I loved the Oracle, but it was just a lot of knitting for me. Like over 1,000 stitches to do an I-cord bind off was just a little too daunting for me. So I'm so excited that she came out with the Half Moon Oracle, and she gifted me a copy, which I'm gushing over. So thank you, Kristen. And then she also gifted one of you a copy. So if you're interested, the giveaway should be up in the Ravelry group. It's Stress Knits on Ravelry, and the podcast, well, on the groups page. Yeah, so head on over there if you're interested, and I'll think of a giveaway prompt. I'll see what happens. I don't know, I might make it a little holiday-y. We'll see what happens. So yeah, head over there if you want to win a copy of the Half Moon Oracle, because it's gorgeous. And she's also having a knit along from now until January 1st. So highly recommend. I might be casting on for the Cal. I need to figure out my color palette, which, spoiler alert, that's what I'm talking about after like normal content. It's color palettes. Because in my thank you for 50, this is getting really long, I'm sorry. Fast forward if you don't care. My thank you for 50 Ravelry group, again, it's not time that I'm usually like coherent. Well, I mean, I worked at 9 yesterday, but it's not like my day off. I'm gonna be like super talkative at 10 a.m. I haven't drank any of my coffee, so. Okay. So in the thank you for 50, Esther, good girl, come here, come here. Sorry, she had a cord and it was not good. Okay, so on the thank you for 50, if it squeaks, I'm sorry. And then thank you for 50 Ravelry group. Thank you for 50 thread on my Ravelry group page. There it is. I asked, like, what would you want to see more of? Like, critiques, like, what are you guys interested in? And a lot of people have asked me about my color choices and how I choose color for my colorways and my projects. So we're gonna go over that today. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, so, yeah, but let's jump into knitting because it's like 12 minutes in and I haven't talked about knitting yet. Sorry, I have a finished object. So I finished my vanilla socks. These are from my Favorite Murder yarn club. This was October shipment. November should be going out when it dries. I dyed it up on Monday. So excited about it. I'm just gonna, alright, I'm gonna put this disclaimer out now. So any of you that any of you that listen to My Favorite Murder know it's a pretty, they're pretty liberal about their language. They drop pretty much any cuss word you can think of, and it doesn't bother me. And anybody that listens to it, it shouldn't bother them because they at least say the F word like 30 times an episode. So there will be colorway names that have swear words. They're not going to be like written out. That would be ridiculous. I would not feel comfortable putting that out into the world, but you'll know. There will be asterisks. Okay? Just putting that out there. Alright, so this is from my Favorite Murder yarn club. An October shipment was called Triflers Need Not Apply, and I loved it so much. I didn't have enough yarn to dye myself a skein like I did this time. So I already preemptively dyed myself a skein of the one that's drying in that room right there. But I loved this so much that I had to have my own. So this is Triflers Need Not Apply is a quote from one of their episodes. Esther's being a butt, but we're just gonna ignore her. Yeah, so it's actually, I don't know, it's a little brighter than that. And by brighter, I mean just like more pink. Yeah, but it's just my basic vanilla sock, 64 stitches on a US 1, reinforced heel flap gusset wedge toe. 2x2 ribbing. Yeah, so there are those. And then, is that it for finished objects? Yes. I've also been working on, I'm not prepared today. I've been working on my Sweet Stress Folk socks, which, no, just go let her, she's fine. I just love these so much. So these were dyed for Jacqueline. What am I doing? I'm like listening to her chew. For Jacqueline, Julie, and I. Julie, I didn't forget your name. I'm just really distracted by Esther. Who have become two of my best friends in the entire world. I love them. But we were hanging out at Rhinebeck, so I was like, I have to dye a colorway, and I have to name it after the three of us. So it's Sweet Stress Folk for Julie of Sweet Sparrow, me of Stress Knits, and Jacqueline of Brooklyn Knit Folk. She's fine. The lighting is so bad because, obviously, it's disgusting outside, and this light is awful. But it is like a blush with some chartreuse and some mint, because if you know the three of us, those are our colors. So I'm naming the Hermione's Everyday sock. US ones, I love them. My Progress Keeper is from Molly of a Homespun House. She sent this to me. It's from her Gilmore Girls Yarn Club. I think it's Sucre Miniatures. Yeah, the texture pattern of the Hermione's Everyday sock is just, it's the best. So, yeah. So those are going. It's a sock. I don't know what else to say about it. But the big kahuna is living in my fringe field bag, which I can finally say that now apparently. I'm really excited about it. Funny thing, I had a dream last night that me and my parents were driving somewhere and we saw like a farmer's market thing where there usually is a farmer's market where I grew up. It's at this barn. It's like in the middle of Livonia. If you know Livonia, you're like, why is there a barn in Livonia? I don't know, there just is. But there's usually a farmer's market. But in this dream, we were driving past and I saw a fringe supply company booth. And I was like, hey guys, let's pull over, I want something. So we went over there and they had this gorgeous like blush mauve field bag and I cried because it was so pretty. And then I bought it. Actually, my dad bought it for me in the dream and it was the best day ever. So that's what I dream of apparently. Okay, this is like my feminist field bag because I have all of my feministy pins on here. Minus my Woolberries pin, but I love it so much it just fits. So I have Future is Female and my I Am pin from Carly, which I still can't get over. Anyway, living in here is my Timber cardigan. Now, if you remember, I just had the collar done last time we checked in. I have a lot more than that now. I think I'm on my 4th skein of yarn. Hi, sweetheart. Hey, play with this. Play with that. Yeah, so sometimes when I get, like when I know I just am gonna want to have this finished, I knit the sleeves first and then I do the rest of the body, so I have both sleeves done. What? So here's my cardigan. It's super, okay, let's talk about Brooklyn Tweed. I love it. It's one of my favorite yarns of all time. I want to knit like 7 sweaters out of it right now in a bunch of different colors. But before it's blocked, it's a little unruly and it makes you go, I don't know if I like this. But when it's blocked, it's gorgeous. So anyway, so it's a little weird and wonky, but it's also twisted rib, so it's gonna block out so much better. So I have 1 sleeve done, 2 sleeves done. It's perfect. And then like a third of the back done. So here it is. I'm probably gonna work on this a lot tomorrow, maybe some today. I don't know yet. Esther, what's wrong? She wants her treats that are on the table. She doesn't need them. Okay, so, yeah, but like it's gonna block out. I love it. So this is Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in the postcard colorway. I might have to order one more skein. I had 7. I'm on 4. Or am I on 5? Might be on 5. Just gonna let it go. She's playing with her puppy pad. Because she's been having diarrhea a little bit. But it's not all the time. Like, she'll be... This is so much information about my dog. But she'll be fine for a really long time. And then there's just, like, one. And it'll happen in the house. And I'm like... So, we just put a puppy pad in her kennel for last night. So that, if she had diarrhea last night and went, that we just have to clean her up and not her crate, because, no. But yes, so this is the Timber cardigan by Shannon Cook. I love it so much. But yeah, do you see what I mean? Like, this is the sleeve, and it looks so tiny, but it's like, it's big. And it fits. I've tried it on and it fits really well. And once it blocks, it's going to grow a little bit, so. Because I've knit with this before and it grows a lot. So I'm really, really excited. I'm knitting this on a US 8 and I love it. Okay, so there is that. I have some projects that I want to cast on, / need to cast on, / need to work on. So let's talk about them. Actually, let me show you my stash enhancement, because it came, and it's the only thing in stash, because I'm trying not to buy anything, because I might be planning a trip in January, and if you know what's in January in New York, you know why. Nothing's set in stone yet, but Folk Knitting Live might happen in New York. Okay. And I found out Kemper's going. I'm like, I have to go. I have to meet Kemper. So, anyway. I ordered a skein of Legacy Fiber Arts Steel Toes base in their Kirk colorway, because I rushed through their booth and I panic bought some stuff. I might be destashing some stuff that I bought because I really wanted Kirk and I just glazed over it. So by the time this is up, I will be destashing some yarn on my Ravelry page. So, go check it out. Actually, no, not on my Ravelry page. On my Etsy page, because it makes shipping so much easier and you'll get it faster because I don't have to deal with PayPal. So, it'll be on my Etsy. Check that out. But yeah, so it's Kirk. Really excited about it. And I have to pay bills, so third buys. Like, it's so pathetic. But you guys, like, this has been the roughest. It's so hard. And my bills, you guys don't need to know this, but this is real life. Like, I was in between jobs for a really long time. I was in this weird, like, transition period and it sucked. And I'm still trying to, like, catch up a little bit. So, let's talk about one project that I haven't showed in a long time. Jacqueline asked about this when we were at, we were waiting for our dinner reservation at Rhinebeck. So, please don't poop while I'm recording. No, she's fine. She's just playing. This is my granny stripe Afghan. And I've been really itching to work on this lately. I just have other things that I want to work on. So I think the last time you saw it, I put in Grimm by Wool and Vine. And then I put in, for my squishy shawl with pointed sticks, Tulip Fields and Junk Yarn Demelza. She's nuts today. But yeah, here's my granny stripe Afghan. I haven't really worked on it a lot, but it's going to be worked on. It's about to outgrow its bag, which makes me really sad because it's from the Fawn and the Fox and it's Rifle Paper Company. Esther. I don't know what she's doing, you guys. I'm sorry if that's loud. Actually, let me grab her really quick. Esther, hey, what you doing? Let's play with these and not a cord. What? Got it. Oh, come on. Come on. Esther, come on up. Oh, there you are. She can get up on the couch by herself now, and it's super cute. Yeah, but that's living in my Fawn the Fox Rifle Paper Company bag, which I love because I love Rifle Paper Company everything. Yeah, so there's that. And then Christmas. It's happening. It's coming. Let's move all this over here. So I have some Christmas sock wanting to knit. It's not a sentence. You guys, I have not drank enough coffee to survive. So, the first thing I actually might cast on today that I want to finish before I start anything else is my sock number 2 from last year, of Gingerbread House. So this is Jinx yarn on her strong sock base. It's her 80/20, which is my favorite. And yeah, Gingerbread House with a Knit Picks Fish Lips Kiss Heel, which is weird because I don't knit those ever, but I did for this. So, and toe. So, I have this, and this will fly because it's striped. This will not be for my box of socks because I started it last year. But here's the yarn. Esther really likes yarn, so I gotta be careful. So, I actually might cast these on after I finish something else that I need to knit today. I don't know where the cake went. But I have 3 other skeins of Christmas yarn that I want to knit this year. So I think the next priority is going to be Sweet Sparrow and Santa Baby. I think this is on her Nuthatch base. Yeah. Which is her 75/25, and I just want this to be like a super cool texture sock. I've been thinking about Pebble Socks by Mina Phillip. Thought about Hermione's. I've thought about doing Hermione's, but putting more knit rows in between the texture sections, which is actually probably what I'm going to do. But I love it. It's just this beautiful pink. You can't really tell because of my lighting, but it's gorgeous. She still has some of this in the shop. Go get it. Because it's amazing. So there is Christmas sock number 2. And then I have a homespun house in Jingleberries on her merino cashmere, which is a 70/20/10. It's the softest. This is super excited about this. And I've had this since last year, which is Leading Men Fiber Arts in the Oh Christmas Tree colorway on the Show Stealer base, which is an 80/10/10 MCN. So, yes. So those are the socks that are going to be happening for Christmas. And then, but today, my priority is to finish baby shower knitting, so I'm just gonna knit a hat. I'm gonna do the classic cuff beanie by Pearl Soho. Super easy in the baby size. So, yeah. And I'm gonna put a pom-pom on top because my southern came out. I'm gonna put a pom-pom on top. I don't know what's happening with me right now. But I'm just gonna knit it out of a gray. It's actually the gray from my Booth Bay cardigan because I had about 50 grams, about 30 grams left, so. Okay, so let's talk about color. So if you haven't noticed, I'm not a big color person. I am not really on trend in the knitting community right now because I don't really enjoy the bright neon colors. I'm fine with them for like socks and stuff, and occasionally I will see some like bright crazy yarn and go, I want socks out of that, but I would never really put it on my body. And so I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea, and like, yeah, I just can't get myself into it. I tried, can't do it. My favorite colors, in case you are not well versed in my color palette, is gray, mint, and old lady pinks. So when I say old lady pinks, I'm talking blush, peach, mauve, bless you, sweetheart, like dusty roses. Those are kind of my jams, which is why I have a colorway that is like a blushish mauve that's called my jam. So I also am really into like this like terracotta-y pink color right now. I don't know, it's where I'm at. But that color palette hasn't really changed since college, and I've been out of college for almost 2 years. So yeah, so let's talk. So when I first started knitting, I didn't really know how to pair colors. I didn't really know how different colors work together. The first time I ever made anything like with multiple colors was the Color Affection shawl. I think it's by Vera Valmecki. And I did it for like Camp Loopy, for the Loopy U. And I used like this melon color, this bright blue, that was kind of like a bright sky blue, and a gray. So like I've shifted more to muted, but the purpose is still there. I don't know where that shawl is. It's actually probably in my basement at my parents' house in a suitcase. But I started noticing like stuff that I liked more, and I liked darker, more neutral stuff. And so I wanted to knit the Daybreak shawl by Stephen West, and I just thought I'd go with something that I knew that worked and something that I knew that I liked. So one way that I pick color for projects is shamelessly copying my favorite people. So my Daybreak shawl needs a block so badly, is out of Jinx yarn in the charcoal and tea leaves colorway, which I need more of because tea leaves is one of my favorite purples. It's just so pretty. And this I shamelessly copied from Kristen of the Yarngasm podcast and Wool and Vine Yarns. So that is where I really started. Okay, so this is my theory. This is kind of my like psychology background coming out, but not really. So we're drawn to things that make us happy, right? It's just obvious. It's like psychology of color. So we're drawn to things that make us happy. And Kristen of the Yarngasm podcast was the first podcast I ever watched, and her color palette was very close to mine and also what I kind of wanted mine to become. And so in order to get my mind to think that way, I was like, I'm going to do exactly what she did because I know I love the finished product. Right? So my theory is to just find a pattern you really want to knit and go through the project pages and find a color palette that you can't stop staring at. Because if you are so drawn to that, don't even think about wearability yet. Just go to what makes you happy and pull a few of those pictures, put them in like different tabs or whatever, and once you find about 5, find the common thread. And then just either get the exact same yarn or get the same yarn, or like get the same colors in different yarns that you like. Just do it. And that will start getting you to understand your color palette. Does that make sense? I don't think it does. I think I make no sense whatsoever. Because that really started helping me understand that even though everybody's knitting all these colorful projects, that's not really me. So, flash forward about 6 months, and I wanted to knit an exploration station. And another human being that I share a very similar color palette to is Jacqueline of the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast. And this was before her and I were friends. So I feel less weird about it now, for her and Kristen. So she knit the exploration station, and I just fell in love because there's something about a mint green with a deep, beautiful green that I just love. So I shamelessly copied her and her color palette for the exploration station. I used the exact green and the exact mint. I used Venus Flytrap and Succulents from Kristen of Volenvine. Then I supplemented it with a gray instead of a white speckle that she used, and a more brownish purple instead of the like deep purple I think that she used. And lo and behold, no, I'm showing you the wrong side. What is wrong with me? Lo and behold, my exploration station, which is very similar to Jacqueline's, but I'm getting away from overly copying people. I mean, ours look the exact same, like, it's fine, but it's not the white and it's not the super deep purple. I prefer gray, and I'm not the biggest deep purple fan. I mean, right? But, yeah, I don't know. This is just, I really liked this. Yeah, so it's funny because Jacqueline and I at Rhinebeck basically picked out the exact same things. It was great. But yeah, so our color palettes, hi sweetheart, oh hi, don't bite my face please. Yeah, so our color palettes are very similar. So my next tip is to find other people in this community that you see every project and go, I would knit that exact same thing. I would wear that exact same thing. Hi, sweetheart. Okay, bye. Just gonna throw things at her really quick. Play with that or that. She's on the other couch. Don't eat the blanket. Okay, so yeah, that's my other tip. So Jacqueline is really one of those people that was like, we have the exact same color palette, so I'm going to use you as inspiration to really create my own things. And then I started getting into my own. I think the first project, sorry, one second. What are you doing? Don't eat the blanket. Eat this. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm a little all over the place. Come up here. Sorry. So, the first project that I really think that I came into my own in was my Find Your Fade. And, so I have it right here. She's so silly today. Yeah, so what I did was I picked from my stash completely because I'm very lucky to have a nice enough size stash where I can do that. And I pulled out a bunch of stuff that I really, really loved. So, for example, I picked out, she tooted and it smells. I'm so sorry, this is so bad. Okay, so I picked out like my Woolen Boon and Druzy Rising and Volan Vine, and I was like, I love these and I want them all together. And I realized that I love mint to blush gradients. I just really do. So let's start with, this thing's massive and I love it. So I started off with this like super pale pink, which is Buffy by Woolen Boon, and faded that into Willow Sweater, which is, hi sweetheart, which is Druzy Rising, into Volan Vine, Jilted Rose, which is like my desert island. Don't eat my shawls. My desert island colorway. Rattle by Stress Knits, which is me. Life in the Long Grass, Rose Hip. Hi, sweetheart. Pistachio from Hedgehog Fibers, and Succulents from Volan Vine. So that really kind of solidified, like, this is what I like. I love mint and I love blush and mauve and rose and like all of those pinks. So my old lady pinks. So I just went with it and I fell in love. So much so that when I picked the colors for my What the Fade, I picked a old lady pink to mint gradient. And I love it. And I wear it almost every day. Yeah, so really my advice is to just use your colors. Look at your closet and just notice what you're wearing. Notice what you go for when you go shopping. Notice for what colors show up most in your stash. And for me, that's mint, old lady pinks, and gray. Like, my stash is almost completely that. And it makes me happy. Like, I don't feel like I need to buy a bunch of greens. I don't feel like I need to buy a bunch of blues or purples, because that's just not me. I have some of that because I just fell in love with the skeins, but I'm not, I don't know, I don't feel like I have to go on trend anymore because I'm finally coming into my own as a capital K knitter. And it's a really, really cool thing. She fell asleep. It's a really, really cool thing. So yeah, it's just kind of my advice, is just really just look for what makes you happy. Look for what you enjoy. And I probably sound like a broken record, but I've gotten so many questions about that. And that's how I dye yarn as well. I don't dye yarn to make other people happy. I feel like that is where I didn't go in that direction when I first started. I first started dyeing yarn to make other people happy, just because I wanted this to become a business. You know, I dyed yarn for myself, but I also, like, the stuff that I put in the shop was dyed for other people. And now I strictly dye yarn that I love, because if it doesn't sell, then I can knit it. Because I think banking on people buying yarn is not smart. And it's how I would, because there was a point where people just weren't buying what I was making, and I had to really self-evaluate and go, like, what's the point? And so yeah, so now I strictly dye yarn that I love. So it's the much more muted. There are still some like crazy colors because sometimes that's what's fun when I'm dyeing yarn, but it's still stuff that I would use. So yeah, I really just think knitting should make you happy and you shouldn't feel like you need to be trendy. If you feel like you need to be trendy in other ways in knitting. Like, use the needle everybody's using, or use field bags, or, you know, like, do that kind of stuff, because that can also make you really happy. You know? You don't have to be trendy to be a part of this community, which is something that I struggled with. When I started the podcast, I really felt like I had to have a bunch of projects, and I felt like I had to do stuff out of yarn that everybody loved or everybody wanted, and it just wasn't making me happy. So I'm finally in a place where I'm just kind of giving you guys my soul and my heart and hoping you like it, which is kind of scary, but also kind of really cool, because now I don't feel like I have to be this like super polished, trendy human being. I just can be me, which is incredibly boring and simple and dull, which I actually enjoy. Yeah, so I don't know if that was helpful to anybody, but knit for yourself, not for other people. Right? Unless you're knitting a gift, and then knit with that person in mind, but also knit with something that makes you happy. For example, for Christmas, I'm knitting my sister's socks. Like, that's what I'm doing. And I mean, we have similar color palettes, but they're not the same. But I can go into my stash and find something that they would enjoy. And so then I get to knit with my stash, stuff that I love because I bought it. And also just get rid of stuff, right? Okay, so anyway, with that, I'm gonna drink some iced coffee and tell you about Stressed Knits Yarn. So if you're not interested, that is fine. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you next week. I don't know what this was, but if you are interested, let's chat about Stressed Knits. So I have all of my pre-orders drying. So if you ordered a pre-order, and if you ordered the My Favorite Murder November Yarn Club, those will be shipping out next week the latest. I'm just waiting for them to dry. I will be having a shop update soon-ish. Probably not until next week. Once everything's dry and my drying racks are free, I can dye again. Yeah. But I am putting up pre-orders for December Yarn of the Month, not Yarn of the Month, December My Favorite Murder Yarn Clubs. I know the November one hasn't shipped out, but I just want to start getting feelers out there, so if you already know that you want to buy it. I also know people have missed the past two and they really want to get it, so I just want to put those out there. Those go really fast though, so if you are interested, I would jump on it. This month, I am so excited for you guys to see it. I love it so much. So there's that. And then I've gotten quite a few requests for fade kits. Okay, so my What the Fade is my favorite thing I've ever knit. Jacqueline of Brooklyn Knit Folk tried to steal it at Rhinebeck, which made me feel really good about my life. I'm not gonna lie, Jacqueline. It kind of validated my knitting of this. Yeah, so people have been asking for kits for the What the Fade. So it makes me really uncomfortable because I feel like selling that much yarn is like asking people for that much money for yarn, because I mean, that's 6 skeins of yarn. 6 skeins. And like my singles base is $26, $27. So like that's a lot of money. It's over $100 for a project. And I mean, granted, if you're gonna buy yarn anyway for it, cool. But it makes me super nervous because it makes me really uncomfortable. Yeah, just because I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to take advantage, which I know it probably doesn't, and it's probably just me being really weird about it. But I'm going to put up custom order up for fade kits, and I hate myself for it. It's fine. But a lot of people have been asking for it, and if it's what you guys want, I'll do it. But I'm gonna do it as a custom order because I don't want to put them in the shop. Like, that just makes me super uncomfortable. So this is what's happening. For the entire month of November, you can order a custom fade kit. I'm going to have, oh gosh, okay, so, it's so scary. All right, I'm going to have up listings for 6 skeins of either my singles base or my squishy base. Okay, so, or my soft sock base. Don't worry, that one's also gonna be there. So 6 skeins. Now, I will also put it out there that if you are interested, I'm like shaking my head at this because it makes me, I'm doing this because people have asked for it, and I know that people like want it, and I don't necessarily dye enough skeins on the same base and the colorways that people want, right? So in the listing, you have to pick 6 of my colorways. The colorways in my shawl are My Jam, Sweet Disposition, I Smell Snow, Birch, Bell Jar, and Pillow Mint. Those are my 6 skeins in my shawl. And I'm going to have that in the description. You can also pick any 6 of my colorways that you want. So, like a really cool gradient fade would be like Fern, Stay Out of the Forest, Birch, Bell Jar, Pillow Mint, and there's something else I'm just not thinking of it because I know I've done that fade and I thought about doing that for my What the Fade, but then I was like, no, that's not really my jam. So stuff like that. Now, it just makes me so nervous. 'Cause it's a big commitment to buy, you know? But again, it helps pay bills, and it's my business, and if that's what people want, I don't know why I'm freaking out about this. And it's not like I'm like listing the 6 skeins together, like, just gonna put them up. Also, if you ever want a sweater quantity, just message me and we'll figure it out. I know I have like a 10% upcharge. That's mostly, it's iffy, essentially. That's mostly if you want like 2 skeins of yarn. Sweater quantities, not really. Yeah, let's just chat about it. Send me a message on Etsy though. I'm Stressed Knits on Etsy. And then what else was I going to talk about? Okay, so I am only a fingering weight yarn dyer because I just don't have the demand for sport or DK or worsted. But again, if you want a sweater quantity or a large shawl quantity in like a DK or worsted, message me and I will order it for you and we can talk about what bases you want and like I can get it for you. It's not difficult. It's just that I don't want to put my own money into something that people aren't going to buy, you know, and I don't really knit projects out of indie dye yarn and worsted and DK weight, you know. So yeah, essentially it's just ask me if you're interested in something. Don't feel weird about it. And also there are going to be custom fade kits in my shop. Okay, so also I wanted to point out that they will be at a discount in quotation marks. And I say that in quotation marks because it's not going to be like on sale, and it's not going to be there's not going to be a discount code. So if you buy 6 skeins of yarn, so like if you buy 6 skeins of my squishy base, they're $28 a piece. So I'm not going to do 28 times 6. I'm going to decrease that a little bit because it's such a big purchase. So it's not going to be the full price. All right, so it's going to be cheaper to buy the kit than it is to buy all the skeins individually. If that makes sense. All right, so message me if you're interested in custom orders. There will be custom fade kits in the shop. Just put the colorway in the notes section that you would like. Right? And those will be up the entire month of November. Yeah, so actually those will be up until Black Friday because I'm doing a Black Friday sale and I'm not putting those on sale. It's a lot of work, you guys. It's a lot of work. Yeah, so with that, this has been really rambly and really just kind of all over the place, and this puppy is asleep on my lap, and so I'm gonna give her some, I know you guys like Esther stretches. Oh, hi, sweetheart. Okay, so I'm gonna knit and hang out with this sleepy pup, and we will see you next week. All right, bye guys.